Hi, I'm Wes Warner,
I'm Adam Ayers.
and today in Bible Walkthrough we're going to be looking at Romans 11:22. The big question is, can you get cut off from God if you don't do everything just right? All right, so Romans 11:22, and this was given to us by a contributor, and it says, "Notice, therefore, the kindness and harshness of God. Harshness towards those who have fallen, but God's kindness towards you, provided you continue in his kindness. Otherwise, you also will be cut off." Now, when I hear that, I think of all those different theological concerns, like once you're saved, are you always going to be saved? Can you lose your salvation? Or if you do fall away, maybe you never were a believer at all, kind of thing. And all those things come up to me, and I don't know how to sort through them all, but I do read the scriptures, and I know it says that you can have your name in the book of life and then blotted out of the book of life. So I take it to understand that, yeah, you can be a believer and you can lose your salvation. You can lose that belief and walk away from God, which is a terrible, sad thing, but that's how I read it. What about you?
I don't think I approach it using that question. I'm looking more at Romans generally as what Paul's developing as his argument here. In 9 through 11, he's talking about the relationships between the Jews and the Gentiles relative to God's overall work through time. And over again in Romans, it's as though he has two kids who are arguing, and he's, as soon as he rebukes one, the other one gets smug. So he's always having to shut one down and then shut the other one down. To the Jew first, also to the Greek. We've determined that both are under sin. Don't anyone get smug against each other, because it appears there's really social tension in the Roman community, the Christian Roman community, about who is more the center of God's attention. With the non-Jewish believers saying, well, the Jews are the has-beens, and the Jews were just the proto-version. They're the alpha version, and we're the real version. And the Jews saying, we were here first, you're the latecomers. And Paul in this is using this very complex analogy, and I think the key is that verse 19, he says, you will say then, well, branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Well said, because of unbelief they were broken off, but you stand in faith, so don't be haughty, but fear. If God didn't spare the natural branches, he may not spare you. And he's talking more that you is sort of one that would stand for the entire community. It's not just my own personal belief, and am I going to be right with God or cut off from God? It's you as a group and you as the representative of that group, hypothetically, Joe, non-Jewish believer, don't think that you're somebody because somebody else was pushed away so that you could be brought in. That's the condition. And the Jews, he's saying, with the Jews, don't think that you're somebody, that you have the first place and you're always going to be standing. You can be, as a group, pushed away, and you can be brought in as a group. Don't be proud against each other. If he can push away the originals, he can push away the laters, and if he pushed away any of them at any time, he can push away you, the individual. So I don't go right to the question of my salvation, which person will get rejected by out of the people of God for what reasons. It's more just a rhetorical thing saying, don't be haughty against other people. All of us here are here because of grace. That's it. And our relationship with God is subject to his conditions at any time. So don't be proud. That's the way I read it.
Mm-hmm. It's good. I like that. And so would you still take this as a verse that would answer that question of our reader? Is this something that would... Or would it be another example would you look for in Scripture to...
I would look for a better passage to try to answer that question. This is too embedded in ethnic groups and religious groups
Mm-hmm.
to be able to answer as an individual.
Yeah.
It's really, are you rejecting a whole work of God among a people to make yourself feel good about your place? I would say that's the only condition that this is really applying.
Okay.
That sort of intergroup strife.
Okay, it's an interesting way to look at it. I like that. And yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it.
Religious arrogance. He says, don't be religiously arrogant, be religiously qualified.
But it would make me think, if God's willing to do that to a whole group of people, then I don't see why he wouldn't do that to an individual person as well.
Perhaps. Well, that's the purpose of the text, to make us pull back a notch and not be overconfident, but to be circumspect. To say, I may not have this all down.
Mm-hmm.
And we can leave that mystery there, because it makes us be a little hesitant. That's the function of the text, to make you hesitant, not arrogant or hyper-confident.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All right.
we hope that this has left you hesitant. And thank you for tuning in. I'm Adam Ayers,
This is Wes Warner.
and this has been Bible Walkthrough. We'll see you next text and next time on Bible Walkthrough.